Good morning, scholars. Today I want to show you a strategy to help you think through your answer choices to make sure that when you are going through the process of elimination that you are accurate and that you can be sure that you are double checking your answers with evidence in the text to hopefully increase your chances of getting the answer choice correct. Before I show you the strategy at work with this text, the man on the moon, I would like to show you the strategy marks first and what they mean. Whenever you are taking a test, there's going to be 4 answer choices. In those answer choices, each of them tends to fit a specific trend on why they are or not the answer. These 4 strategy marks will help you as you are thinking through your answer choices and deciding which one you should eliminate versus which one you should hold on to and think more about. The first strategy mark is called NIT or not in the text. This is going to be for the answer choice that when you read the answer choice and you look back in the text or you think back to what you read, none of that information is in the text at all. That one is usually the easiest one to eliminate because you can spot it more clearly than you can another answer choice that say maybe is in the text. The second strategy mark is NT for not true. This is for an answer choice that is partially true. Maybe there's some information that's in the text, but it's not fully true or it's a little bit misleading. And so then you would mark it not true, and you know that you would be safe to eliminate it as it cannot be chosen due to a lack of truth. The third strategy mark is does not relate. This one can be a little bit tricky because usually this answer choice is comes directly from the text that you've just read, except it just doesn't relate to the question that's being asked. And we're going to see an example of that in just a moment. And so if an answer choice is in the text, then it's true, but it doesn't relate to the question that's being asked, you have to look back into the text to determine whether or not that's the case. And if not, then you would eliminate it. And then finally, NTE is no text evidence. This is going to be the strategy mark that you would use to kind of help you to double check yourself and to ensure that you're going back into the text to check for text evidence for an answer that you think may be correct. But upon further examination, if you look in the text and there is no evidence, then that answer choice cannot be correct. So these are the strategy marks, and I'm going to show you these strategies at use with the text that you have read, The Man on the Moon. So looking at answer choice number 1, the question is, what are the grandfather's feelings about the television broadcast in the story? And so when I looked at answer choice A, he believes the story is all a hoax. I remembered in paragraph 5 where it explained to me what the grandfather was thinking, and he said that he thought the people in Hollywood were trying to trick him. I do know that hoax means trick, so I went ahead and made that note on my answer choice. I put a question mark next to it because just because I think the first answer is correct, it doesn't mean that that's always true. I always want to go in and check all of my answer choices to make sure that I'm making the very best, that I'm choosing the very best answer. Answer choice B says, he is excited as the rest of the family. I know that that's not true because when I look back in the text, in paragraph 5, it said grandfather had not been impressed. So if he was not impressed, then I know that he could not have been as excited as the rest of the family. Answer choice C says, he does not understand what is happening. I know that is not true because if grandfather didn't understand what was happening, he would not have been able to say or think that it was Hollywood playing tricks on them. And then answer choice D says, he is proud of the astronauts who have landed on the moon. Once again, I know that's not true because he thinks that it was fake. Question number 2, how are Katie and her family experiencing the historical event? Remember I told you that I always want to make sure that I am taking special note of what the question is asking, because when it comes down to that does not relate strategy, I need to be clear on what the question is asking so that I know that I'm not going to be misled by an answer choice. So I do the work of circling the question word, and then what's the most important part of the question that the question word is referring to. So how are Katie and her family experiencing the historical event? A says they are listening to the event on the family radio. I went back into the text right there in paragraph 1. It says Katie was watching the live broadcast with her parents. Because I know that she was watching the broadcast, she couldn't have been listening to it on the radio, so that one's not true. Answer choice B, they're watching the sky to see what happens next. Once again, paragraph 1 says they're watching TV, so that's not true. Answer choice C, of course, says that they're watching it on TV. I put a question mark there even though I know that it's true. Remember, STAR asks us what is the best possible answer. So even though I'm pretty sure that C is the answer, I always want to check the final answer choices just to make sure that I'm picking the best one. And then D says they are streaming the event on the family's home computer. Again, I know that they're watching it on television, but also just cultural context. This is 1969 when they put a man on the moon. People did not have home computers back then, and there definitely wasn't any streaming. Question number 3, what does Katie's father assure her about that day's event? Now, if you get stuck on the word assure, you guys will have access to dictionaries that you can use in order to help you figure out what words mean if you're not really sure what they mean. So don't be afraid to use that dictionary to clarify word meaning. Once again, I looked through. This is another example of answer choices that were just clearly not true, with the exception of answer choice B. And it's right here that she will never forget the day's event. Every time I looked at one of the other answer choices, A, C, or D, they were just simply not true. I'm going to skip down to question number 4 since we're pretty confident with the answer choices that are not true. I want to show you answer choice for does not relate. It says, which sentence from the text helps you to explain your answer for question 4? So I know that all of these answer choices come directly from the text, but I need to know which one relates directly to this question. So answer choice A says Katie believed her father. When I look at question number 4, it says, does the event in the story affect how Katie views the world? That information is in paragraph 2. So when I look back at paragraph 2, that information says Katie's mind was filled with thoughts about space. If men could land on the moon, what would stop them from landing on other planets? What if there were people out there in space who might come and land on Earth? Suddenly, it seemed as if everything she knew about the universe could change. That was pretty exciting, wasn't it? Katie's father's words interrupted her thoughts. Yes, Daddy. I don't think I will ever forget it. You won't, her father assured her. Someday, when people talk about a man landing on the moon, you will remember exactly where you were when it happened. So there's nothing in this text. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This memory will stay with you when others have faded away. Even though this is in the text, this does not relate to which sentence helps you to explain your answer for 4. So I went ahead and put, it does not relate to the question. Same thing would be, this memory will stay with you when others have faded away. Yes, that is true. Yes, it's in the text. Yes, it comes, there is text evidence, obviously, because it's from the text, but it doesn't relate to the question being asked. This sentence does not help me explain my answer for question number 4. Same thing for answer choice C. Katie might not agree with her grandfather, but she did not want to be disrespectful and argue with him. Again, this sentence, while it's true and it's in the text, it doesn't help explain the answer to number 4, which is that Katie changed her views. Finally, D, the answer choice is suddenly it seemed as if everything she knew about the universe could change. This sentence directly relates to the support for Katie believing or Katie's views changing about the world based on that event. And so therefore, that is the correct answer. If you have any questions, please feel free to find me and ask me. Thank you.